So I did a few videos on this guy. And this is the ZVS driver that with the regulation that was inspired by Teslaundmehr's video. So when I saw that video, I was like, hey, that's pretty nifty. You know, I could use that for all types of stuff. Getting a regulated high voltage DC output. If I'm trying to troubleshoot a board or just a drive in general, if it's old, it's got things failed on it. So I found this is actually pretty handy. Before I was just powering up drives with no motor to parameterize it and see what kind of faults are being thrown, things like that. But it actually will drive a motor. I didn't build it for that. It takes about 10 amps, about 17 volt input to spin a motor, 230 volt motor of decent size. So I could easily spin a very small motor, probably just running off the battery. I've already done that. When it comes to larger motors, that's probably pulling nominal 4 or 5 amps. That's when loaded, that's when this thing is gonna be able to run it unloaded fairly well. A couple motors I ran this thing on, those things have some crazy torque. I mean, you could load it down by hand and it's really gonna start drawing a lot, but it's pretty amazing the power it puts out. So I've just basically set this so I can adjust the voltage up to about 600 VDC. That'll be for 480 volt devices, and I can bump it down to about 300. That'll be about 2 to 230 volt devices. So what I'm going to do is test this out on some drives, see how it works actually spinning motors. And the idea is, if I can get a motor to want to start spinning off this guy, then chances are it's not going to blow up when I throw it on 480. If it starts to stutter, it's not really working right, then probably what that means is somewhere along the lines it's got a ground fault, it's got a short, and the output or IGBTs, whatever it may be, it's not going to run properly. Because the ZVS, just the way that it works, it's not going to sit there and try to ram all this power into a dead short. It's really not going to do anything. Sort of the bonus of that. This is not a very big drive or a motor. It's 3-phase though, 3-phase motor, 460. Using this guy, but not the battery. I'm coming off this lab supply, so I'm at 17 volts, about 1.2 amps. Just powered up, and I'm going to run the motor. It's going to be at 60 hertz all the way up. And you can see that's about what it's pulling to run that motor like that. Quite a bit. But it's doable, from a battery like that. Hey, I'll stop that. Goes back down. So yeah, you can actually run a motor pretty decently set up like that.